Hello, howdy. Hey now, everybody. Welcome to Geography 1 for the fall semester at Chabot College. This is the Physical Geography lecture course, and my name is Jeffrey Miller. I am your professor for this semester. This course is 100% online and asynchronous. So everything that you see will be pre-recorded like this and presented to you in Canvas. What I wanted to do for the this first lecture is to go ahead and cover the syllabus, and it won't take too long. This should be a 15-20 minute video syllabus, and kind of go over Canvas and just to kind of set the expectations and what you guys need to know in order to be successful in this course. So right now I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okie dokie. So Canvas, for me, the way I like to present it is with the modules, meat and potatoes, put it all out there, straightforward. This way you don't have to flip around a bunch of different pages. Everything is organized and set and ready for you to go. So with the first little course information, I don't have a ton here, just your syllabus, which I want you to review. Obviously this video, and then if you wanted to meet me for an office hour, if you scheduled that with me, I should say, here is a link to meet over Zoom. Everything is remote, and so any kind of Zoom meetings that we'll have for office hours would be using this link right here. I'm going to open up the syllabus here. You're welcome to download this file or just view it on Canvas like I'm doing. Here we go. All right. So let's quickly walk through what we are working with here. If I do this, there we go. Okay, so yeah, like I said, this is Geography 1, Physical Geography Lecture, not to be confused with Physical Geography Lab. That is Geography 1L for Lab, which I also teach this semester as well. But anyways, like I said, my name is Jeffrey, and you can email me directly, jmiller@chabotcollege.edu. I mentioned we are a remote class, and the delivery is asynchronous. So that means that everything, as I mentioned, is recorded and delivered to you kind of before, without any actual live class. That's the best way to describe it. So that means that you don't have to meet every week for a Zoom or anything like that. You log in, kind of check what to do, and then review the material that's presented to you and complete it by their due dates. Pretty straightforward, kind of gives you the convenience to do it on your time. Also, though, requires that you work independently and that you can do your work responsibly without me kind of tapping on your shoulder, because that's the last thing I'm going to do for this semester. If you miss several assignments and you're falling way behind, you're gonna struggle. The best advice I can give to all of you is to check what's due for the week, and there will be something due every week. Complete it and just make sure it's done before the due date. And we'll cover that here in a second when I look at Canvas. I am requiring you to have a book. It's called Physical Geography, the Global Environment, the 5th edition, by Mason, Burt, Mueller, and de Blige. There's a few different. Anyways, yeah, no. So that's what you need to get. The book, I say required because the material that I present to you guys online is kind of snippets from the book. The book will certainly help you kind of fill in all of the information that you need for the specific chapters assigned to you. So get that book as soon as you can. There should be some in the bookstore and the library. And they're also available for purchase on Amazon. So the purpose of this course, I know that a lot of folks are in here for the general education requirement, which is great. No qualms to that. This is an Earth course, as kind of stated. But yeah, we're talking about the Earth's physical systems. So we talk about Earth, Sun, relationships, climate change, things in the atmosphere, things on the lithosphere, what's above us, what's on the Earth itself. We cover things like technology. Since this is a general education course for geography, we try to cover several topics. Generally speaking, though, we are referring to the physical nature, the physical nature, physical mother nature. Let's just call it that if we're simplifying things here. So yeah, it's a great course in the context of you will take away lessons that you can literally apply to every day, right? So you may not, I mean, everybody could turn on the news and say, hey, or look on your weather app and say, what's the weather going to be today? Okay, I'm gonna plan my day accordingly. And you kind of go about, think about it. This course will prepare you to kind of, my hope is that after you take this, subconsciously you'll look at the weather and you'll go, oh yeah, here's what the temperature is and sunny or whatever. Oh, and here's why, right? So you will learn concepts and theory behind why is it raining outside. I'm using a lot of simple things here, but that's what I think the impact will be by taking this course. Yeah, so I'm not going to read all of these objectives. These come right out of the catalog. I'll let you guys look this stuff over. Same with the outcomes. I do want to cover attendance quickly. This is something that students are not sure of if they've never taken an online asynchronous course. So because we don't have any scheduled Zooms, there really is no attendance that you check off. For me, what I am required to do is to report who's attending my course about 2 weeks in. So pretty soon here after you watch this video. To me, your attendance is you turning in the assignments. Okay, so yeah, as long as you do all of the assignments, as long as you do your assignments on time, I'm going to assume that you are attending class. And like I said, I don't tap on your shoulder to say, hey, where are you? I just don't do that, right? Like if you haven't turned in your work, that's on you, basically. I do want to mention one thing because I say some things about office hours. I do hold them, but only, like I said, by appointment. I think I mentioned this earlier, only by appointment. Okay, so that means that you need to email me ahead of time and say, hey, I'm struggling or I need some help. I need just a few minutes of your time. Can we look over an assignment on Zoom, or can we talk about a specific topic on this day during the week? So yeah, of course, I'll try to accommodate you and fit that into my schedule. Don't just assume that if you email me and say, hey, can we meet in 5 minutes, that I'll be available to do that. I probably will not. So anyways, by appointment only. I don't have a specific time frame. Just reach out and I'll be happy to try to schedule something with you. Moving on, the lectures and other resources are pre-recorded. They are saved on YouTube, and I will share each of those with you each week in various modules. Same with the exams. When it comes to exams, please, and this goes into some of the cheating and student conduct policies. Don't copy and paste. If I ask you essay questions, don't copy and paste each other's answers. It's actually quite obvious for me to find out that information. Don't copy and paste stuff from Wikipedia or other internet sources. Copy and paste it directly. You're welcome to paraphrase and cite something that you find to provide evidence for your answer. That's great. Actually recommend it. As well as using my lecture videos and the book as references. So that's the expectation, okay? This is a college course, so things like that are taken serious. If I do find that you have plagiarized, copied and paste, anything like that, then there'll be some disqualification measures taken. As far as grading is concerned, the course runs and everything. I didn't mean for this to happen, but it's kind of broken down into these 3 months that we work here, and each one is kind of its own block. So at the end of a block, there's an exam, and those are where you make the majority of your points. You will have discussion participation points every week, so don't skimp on those, because 5 to 10 points can affect your grade pretty seriously. Take you from a B to an A or something if you're borderline. And then there is a final exam, which is worth a hefty amount of points at the end of the course. The final exam is not comprehensive, but it does have more chapters built into it at the tail end of the course compared to the first two, let's say. And here's how things are broken down. I don't curve grades. I don't give A minus, B minus, that kind of a thing. It's super simple, 90 to 100, 80 to 90, that kind of a thing. A, B, C, D, F. That's the way that I work, okay? If you have any special needs and accommodations, please email me. I'll be happy to work with you on that one. And I already mentioned these, so I'm going to leave these in here. Expect everybody to be mature and responsible. And as well, here are some recommendations for programs at the college. All righty, so let's take a quick look here and open up Canvas so you can see what this experience is like. If I go back to my home page, I will show you now what you can expect. So what I've done is I've outlined all of these modules, and I've titled them by the date that they're going to open. Each one of these, except for this, is a Monday. 9/4 is Labor Day. But yeah, that's the intention, is to have every following Monday be something new for you. And with that being said, every corresponding Sunday will be when assignments are actually due. Now, when I say that they're due, that doesn't mean that you have to do them on Sunday. You can actually do them well beyond that, well before that, and turn them in if that makes sense for your schedule, and then you're good for the week. So you'll see that consistently. This is a pretty big one, and it's early on, so I gave you 2 weeks to work through this, since there's two chapters to work through. Chapters, units, the book calls them units, they're chapters. That's what I mean by that. So here's how things generally will go. You'll see a module. Okay, here's a little title, Introduction to Physical Geography. Okay, let's see what that's all about. You go into the Unit 1 kind of introduction page, and I cover some very short information about what to expect and the things that you should be learning. And now you're welcome to use the next and previous buttons to go back and forth. But here is my first video lecture. So I want you guys to open this, and you will see this is a pretty short one for you, as YouTube opens up. Here we go. From a time prior when I had a lot less hair, just so you know, and a different background, obviously. I'm not going to lie about any of this stuff. I mean, many of these things were published a few years ago, and I'm still using them. All the information is still absolutely relevant, and what I'm using for this course, just letting you know. But yeah, so the intention is to watch these videos in their entirety, watch them in pieces. I don't care how you watch them, when you watch them, but take notes. What I'm doing in these videos is I'm basically, let's get to a different spot here. I'm reading off of what are called key points. And what I've done, let me bounce back over here real fast. I have taken all of my notes from the book and put them out there, and then design my lectures based on the key points. So those are all here. You can find those each week for each chapter. So if I click on key points, you can actually download this files. I don't care. And this is a very short one because this first chapter is extremely short. But yeah, the idea is to have these key points in place. That's where my notes are. That's what I'm going to be lecturing you based off of. And let's use a different chapter, actually. If I go to Unit 2 and 3, open up this key point. You'll see some weeks there's one chapter, some weeks there's two chapters kind of built into one key point, and other weeks there might be 3 or 4 chapters. It really just depends. This course is kind of truncated because of the time frames that we started and that we're starting and ending the course. So, you know, most Chabot courses last about 18 weeks. This one only lasts about 14. So, you know, with the hours that are required of you are still there. They just have to be kind of condensed in various ways. And that's what you'll find throughout this course. Okay, so that's not a good one either. But I definitely have some here where I want to make these recommendations. How about in key points 5? Okay, so what you're going to find is when you look through these key points, you'll see these little bold numbers like this, okay? These numbers represent a slide that gives you some additional context for this particular topic. And you could find the slide. So let's see if I can do both of these at the same time. Maybe if I download this, put it like that. Here, I have it on the other screen. Give me a second. What I'm trying to say is that I have provided slides for every single one of these chapters. These slides came from the author of the book. These slides have a lot of good information. They're also extremely dense. And so what I mean is I don't want you guys to get too overwhelmed by the slides, because I've essentially done a lot of the heavy lifting for you with this key point stuff. And you'll see as I'm lecturing, going over those, that I refer back and forth to the slides. The slides are great for visual context, for giving you some, like, for example, if we look at, let's see, let me put this over here. Sorry, give me 1 second. That and like that. I hope that's working for you guys. Here are the key points for Unit 4, for example. And if I look at the slides for Unit 4, if we talk about something like the Earth spins on an axis, rotates in one full day, this creates day versus night. Slide 18. Okay, let's find slide 18. Boom, 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 boom. See, there's a lot of other stuff that's a bit redundant, and yeah, like I said, you don't need to overwhelm yourself with the slides. Anyway, so here's slide 18, where you see the tilt and where you see the spin and the rotation, right? Creating this kind of day-night effect. So that's, and the other thing too, these are a little bit out of order. And I did that on purpose. When I was creating the material, I wanted to kind of put things in a way that made sense, in a way that things flowed, that made sense. So, like, for example, if we look at 18, then we go a few bullet points down and we have slide 14. So we have to go back up to 14 here. So like that, right? So that's what I'm trying to convey here, is that I don't want you guys to spend too much of your time on the slides. focus on the video lectures, take notes, focus on reading the book, use the slides for context and for the visuals. And then, you know, you should be pretty well prepared for what is required of you. Just as far before we wrap up here, expectations for what you need to complete in each module. Like I said, there's 3 exams, but you also have to do discussion engagements. So like, for example, unit 1, there's a discussion here. Again, due every Sunday. What I want you to do, I'll give you a simple prompt. It might be, you know, asking, you know, 2 or 3 different things. But like this first one is very short, compare and contrast the difference between physical and cultural geography. So this is where you will come in, you will reply and give me about a paragraph or so. And I don't want it to just be something that's just here. I want it to be based on what you've learned from the information I provided. With that being said, I also don't want it to be copy and paste from Wikipedia. You see what I'm saying? So this gives me, you know, a proof that you are viewing and participating every week. It also gives us the opportunity to compare answers with each other and talk to each other. So you're welcome to not just reply to me, to the prompt, but also to your peers, to other students in the class. I highly encourage that. I don't require it, but I highly encourage it. Okay. So every week there's a discussion. Some of the weeks there's 2 discussions. Just pay attention to that. In particular, like I said, once you get down to November, it's pretty dense. So like November 6th, for example, there's actually 3 chapters that I have you cover. So just be aware of that you're going to see some things that some weeks are a little bit, there's just more material than others. And that's kind of just the way the calendar worked. So yeah, do your discussions every week, stay on top of those. And then your exams are posted here. You have a full week to complete the exam, not to take the exam, but to complete the exam. They are timed. I believe you have 3 hours. Yes, 3 hours to complete your exam. Once you start, there's no stopping or pausing. There's a timer that goes, and you know you got to complete it by that time frame. Let's see, anything else? I don't think so. It's, like I said, pretty straightforward. You know, your view is going to look something like this, where the modules are locked. So don't worry. I mean, I'm essentially just giving you kind of a preview of what to look forward to, but you will do them on the pace of the course, right? So like on the 5th, that's when this first module will open. And so you can come in and you could start, you know, taking this week's, looking at this week's material, so on and so on. All right, that's how it works. Like I said, stay on top of your assignments. There we go. Stay on top of your assignments, communicate with me, review and study the material. Yeah, and you should be good to go. Like I said, this course will give you a lot of really great insights into the physical nature of the world. It shouldn't be too overwhelmingly difficult, but with that being said, there is work ahead of you, and you need to stay on top of it. Like I said, you know, the one thing students struggle with the most is actually just being on time, you know, with turning their assignments. So as long as you do that every week, provide thoughtful answers for your discussions, and study so that you do well on your exams, I think that you will succeed. I hope so. Yeah, so reach out, like I said, and happy to meet you and discuss anything you have. I hope you enjoy this semester, and I could have a chance to talk to you at some point. All right, have a great day. Bye for now.